guys? Anthony here with Empire Music, empiremusiconline.com, and today showing you a new model in the Fender American Original series. Not really a new model, but a new finish in here with the surf green with the super slick red tortoiseshell pickguard. Awesome color combination, super classic. Like I said, this is a 60s, so it's going to kind of emulate the precision basses of the 60s. So it's got an alder body on it, vintage bridge, the easy tone control, or easy control layout with volume and tone, that's it. It's got a pure vintage 63 split coil precision bass pickup in it. Gloss nitro finish all the way throughout. Vintage tall frets, 9.5 radius on the fretboard. The neck shape is a 63C. So what's that mean? That means like a relatively chunky C neck. Certainly not like the 50s stuff, which is, you know, what I would refer to as kind of baseball battish. I play that shape and love it. You kind of get used to something a little bit thicker. But this is certainly a little bit slimmer, but certainly not a modern C. So we're kind of splitting the difference between what the big thick 50s stuff and kind of the modern precision bass profile. Bone nut, and it's 1 3/4 inches, and actually it's 1.73, so it's just a shade under. I think that's 44 millimeters. It's a shade under 1 3/4 inches, but let's just call it 1 3/4 inches. It sure feels like that. And vintage style reverse tuners in it. Sonically, just like as soon as I unboxed it and played it, we did a quick little tweak on it to get it set up. It reminds me a lot of what we pull out of, like, I'm in the Fender custom shop room here, and it pulls a lot of that stuff out sonically that you tend to get from the custom shop thing. So that's just a really nice, these come in around the $2,000 price point. It's a USA made instrument, but that's still a shade under what we get into with custom shop stuff. So if you really like vintage instruments and you don't obviously want to spend the exorbitant prices of a true vintage instrument, you can't quite get into what we, you know, get at price point wise out of a Fender custom shop instrument. This is a really, really nice option for you. So you get a lot of that playability and feel, but at a slightly smaller price point. And it certainly puts out, you know, the vintage vibe on it, just playing the feel wise, and the sound is like that. I really, really dig this instrument. I like all the stuff out of the American Original line. I feel like that's a great line that doesn't get all of the applause sometimes out of the Fender lineup, but the American Original is a really, really nice spot to be in from a feature set perspective and from a price point. So sonically, what do we pull out of it? You heard a little bit on the intro there. Super P-bassy, thwonky, as we like to say, right, Brent? That's it, thwonky. It's totally there though. So tone all the way up, volume all the way up, and we'll just play a little bit more. And as P-basses tend to do, when you dig in, that's when we start pulling out some kind of alternate character of the instrument. It gets away from being so round, and you know, that note blooms a little bit different when we start to dig. So I'll kind of demonstrate that just a touch. And one thing I noticed here is a really nice level of clarity when I'm digging in that. It doesn't get so over the top kind of on the trebly side of that, so it doesn't really, and the tone's all the way up, and it's not getting like out of control sometimes with that brightness, which can have some P basses have a tendency to do that. This doesn't, so it really stays, like I said, controlled as far as the top end that comes out of the instrument. So we'll play with pick a little bit, kind of the same deal, and you'll notice the tone get obviously pickier, we'll call it. Sounds great. So I mean, if we were playing in a funk setting or even more in a rock setting, and you were like, you know, pounding out eighth note, quarter note stuff, it's really filling up the room here. And I always fail to mention in my videos, and I apologize to everyone out there, I am playing through a Rumble 200. And we're miking it with, what is that, a Shure? I'll post it down there, whatever we're using. But yeah, we're miking it, and it's a Rumble 200. People always say, like, what are you playing through? You always forget to say it, and I do. That's a flaw of mine in my videos. So we'll roll the tone back a little bit. So we're gonna go about halfway, kind of play some of the same style stuff, and we'll see what it is. You have it? You holding it? Brent coming through with a win right there. So it's an SM94 condenser mic. Thank you, sir. And I'm sure here where we will blow up your speakers on your computer or your phone, if you're in headphones, it'll probably be good. But we'll do a little palm muting stuff too, just to kind of demonstrate that. I'm going to put a little bit more tone on that, probably take that around 80. So there you have it. I mean, there's not a whole, you know, it's a P bass. You're not getting a million different tones out of it. You're just getting, you know, probably the most iconic tone that is out there in the bass world. I'm a P bass guy all the way. This thing certainly gets my approval. Not that that means anything, but I love it. It's a great bass. So this is the Fender American Original 60s Precision Bass. Anthony here with Empire Music. Check us out, empiremusiconline.com. Call me personally at the shop, 412-343-5299. You can email me personally. It's anthony@empiremusiconline.com. Any questions you have, best deals around. We have 0% interest financing, free shipping. We do a free setup for you on the way out the door too. And that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it.